To me, belly dancing is art in motion. It is your connection with the musician, your connection with the recorded track. It's your connection with your body, your mind, your soul. I am absolutely in love with this dance form. Hello everyone, it is Abyssinia Motherland James Belly Dance. I am starting a new little project called the Belly Dance Diaries. I'm going to be talking about the ups and downs of belly dance, why I love it, things that I'm not too crazy about, so that you can get to know me a little bit better here on my channel. If you are looking for lessons, it's important for you to figure out if you really like the teacher or not. So this is one way that you can figure out if you'd like to take dance classes with me sometime in the future, and just to get to know me as a person instead of someone just like dancing around the town and all types of things like that. So let's get into episode number 1. So this week I want to talk about my belly dance origin story, because some people think they know it and very few people actually do. So to be honest, I don't always tell people the original origin story. So the origin story begins not in Egypt, because that is where I started, I guess, officially taking classes or taking them on a more regular basis. My belly dance origin story actually began in Hawaii, because some people do not realize this. I actually grew up in Hawaii. So for most of my formative years, I spent time in Hawaii on the island of Oahu, in the city of Makiki, growing up, beautiful little black girl, going through all the stuffs. So I would say I was about 15 or 16. And this is like how things are just so full circle, right? I was looking in, I guess, one of the like periodicals that would come around the city or whatever, and there was a belly dance class being offered at one of the local community centers. Actually, I think it was a women's center, so a women's community center. They also had a kickboxing class, which was super fun. And I asked my mom if I could sign up for the classes, and she signed me up. And I was like, needless to say, like the youngest person in the class. All the other ladies were just so nice. I remember them being just very warm and friendly. Some of them had taken the class before, I believe. The teacher had been doing it a while. I don't remember her name. So that was actually my first class. And I believe that class lasted about 6 weeks. And I have a few fond memories of that class. One of my fondest is that on the last day of the class, one of the ladies gave me a coin belt that she had forever, because I don't think I had one, right? Because I was just like, some little high school person, like just taking the class, and I usually borrowed a coin belt when I got there, which is what I do in my class, right? I loan out the coin belts. And I'll never forget, so it was this beautiful midnight blue coin belt that I actually still have. I've retired it from being borrowed in my class because all the coins have been shaken off of it. But she let me use that coin belt, and she gave it to me. And I thought that was really, really sweet. So that actually is how I started belly dancing. Then,
many months later,
I stopped. I started playing the violin. I was into band and stuff like that. But that class that I took was the beginning. Then I would say maybe 5 years later, I was 21, studying abroad in Egypt, I started taking my official classes with the beautiful Nadia, who I'm still friends with on Facebook. And she was actually visiting Egypt from El Salvador, I believe. Oh my gosh! I'm pretty sure she is from El Salvador. I have to reach out to see, because actually now, another full circle thing, I've been to El Salvador at this point. So boom, sometimes when you start talking about things, you realize connections. So anyways, amazing woman. This is a story that I tell most people because it's the one that comes to mind the most. But I realized, just kind of sitting around thinking about it, my origin story actually began in Hawaii. But when I really started getting serious about belly dance, I got on Craigslist when I was studying abroad in Egypt, and a lady said she was offering belly dance classes in her house, and I reached out to her, and I started taking classes with her, which was not unusual for me. During the time that I was in undergrad, I was on Craigslist a lot because I was always looking for people to tutor, and that entrepreneurial spirit was still there. I found later years some of my best belly dance students on Craigslist. I found some crazy ones too, but some of my best ones on there, and teachers and things like that. So it wasn't unusual for me to be on Craigslist. And that's how we found each other. And I took classes with her for the majority of the time that I was in Egypt. And then I left Egypt and studied abroad in Spain that summer. I found a lady to take a few classes with there, dabbling. Then went back to Houston, and I think I performed for the first time. And just kind of like throughout undergrad, like I was taking classes in Atlanta, and I don't think I ever got the chance to take any classes in Houston, but I got pretty serious in Atlanta as well. And then, of course, can never underestimate the power of the internet, you guys. I have found some amazing, amazing teachers online, including there was a woman at one point who had a channel that I believe was called freebellydanceclasses.com or something like that. This beautiful woman from Morocco. And she'd have like just all these tutorials on there, and I would dance with her, and I've taken other classes online. So your belly dance origin story doesn't have to be like anybody else's, right? People love putting people in boxes and just saying, well, you know, you need to be classically trained, and I train with this person, I train with that person. It doesn't matter, at least to me. I think that, as for me in my house, I dance the way I want to dance. I dance with who I want to dance with. And I have to really resonate with the person that I'm taking classes with. You can be the most beautiful dancer on the planet, but if you are mean to me, I will not take classes with you. That's just not how I roll. And that's one of the reasons, one of the many, besides the fact that I'm just a naturally nice person, that I make sure my classes are really warm and nurturing. There is a sense of sisterhood in the class, and that is the part that I'm most proud of. Because when I first started taking belly dance classes when I was 16 years old, the lady was so nice, so warm and welcoming. The other ladies in the class were really, really sweet. As I said, they gifted me something at the end of the class, which I was not expecting. We would dance in circles. No one was there to judge anyone. Ladies of all ages were there, all sizes. And it was interesting because, again, contrary to popular belief, having grown up in Hawaii, I didn't always have the warmest welcome everywhere I went. So, living in Hawaii, you know, having the issues, whatever I was having at school, even being the top student, having, you know, discrimination thrown in my face, racism, going to that belly dance class and experiencing the warmth from all these ladies that didn't look anything like me. We weren't the same age. The only thing we had in common was our love of dance. That really planted the seed in me, I believe, to start my class many years later. And I'm really proud of the class that I've created, that sisterhood, all the smiles and the laughs that we've had over the years, because it's really important and it isn't very common. So that's all I have today. That was my belly dance origin story, episode 1 of the Belly Dance Diaries. I hope you'll tune in with me next week. I'd like to hear what your belly dance origin story is. Where did you start dancing? Do you have a favorite teacher? Do you dance online? Do you dance in person with people? Have you started a class? Anything like that. I love to hear people's origin stories, so to speak, you know? That's all I have. Do something that brings you joy today. Bye.